A few weeks ago, the guys over at BenQ stumbled upon my office/studio setup video. I'm gonna leave the link in the description in case you missed that. They wanted to tell me that they liked my setup, and they asked me if I would like to review one of their new curved monitors. And as a video editor and a gamer, a curved monitor is something that has been on my radar for literally years now, and of course I said yes. So I got the monitor, it's been installed here, as you can see, and it is flippin' awesome. Let's take a look. This is BenQ's EX3501R. A bit of a mouthful, as is usually the case with computer components. This is a curved 35-inch beast. Like I said in the beginning, I've always wanted something like this, so of course I was thrilled that BenQ sent me one. So this guy, like I said, 35 inches, 21:9 aspect ratio, and a max resolution of 3440 by 1440. It's big. Unlike the previous model, the EX3501, this one offers a few more adjustments when it comes to the position of the monitor itself. So, like the previous one, it goes like this, and it goes up, so it tilts up and down. It tilts down 5 degrees and up 20 degrees. And unlike the previous model, it goes up and down, so it can be adjusted like this, which is kind of nice. The panel has a nice matte finish, which I really appreciate because I shoot video with lights pointing right at the monitor, so this doesn't create as much glare as this. One of the few things I didn't like about this monitor is that it's not VESA or VESA compatible, which means you can't just bolt this to a support. You have to get a VESA transfer mount, I think that's what they're called. So there's that. But again, this is pretty much the only thing I didn't like about the monitor. Actually, there's one more thing I didn't like. It's the fact that it doesn't have built-in speakers. Now, it has a headphone jack, so you can run speakers through it, but I would have liked if it had that built-in option. Since we're talking I/O, this is what this thing is rocking. It has two regular USB 3.1 ports, a USB Type-C port, two HDMI 2.0 ports, and a DisplayPort input as well. And like I mentioned, the headphone jack. Originally, when they said they were gonna send me this, I was trying to figure out a way to have all three monitors here on my desk, but as you can see, this thing is so big that I had to come to a compromise. So my old Pavilion 27BW is now on my other table, and I have it plugged in to my mini SNES, and I just have the games running on a demo mode loop. I kind of like looking over there and seeing like F-Zero or Zelda running in the background. It's kind of cool. Now, one of the main things that I use this thing for is for video editing. So I'm gonna boot up Sony Vegas here, and as you can see, I turned the brightness down quite a bit so that it doesn't mess up with the exposure on the camera here. So it might be a little too dark. Let's just, I'm not sure if you can see it there. Let's bring the brightness up just a bit. Okay, there we go. It's not blowing up the exposure too much. So as you can see here, this is a way of editing videos that I never experienced before. The image, the monitor is just so big and so wide that I can have such a big view of the editing timeline down here. So I get just a glance, I can see pretty much all of it in a way that with the other monitors felt now when I edit on smaller devices, it feels just way too cramped. This is the way to edit video for the rest of my life from now on. It's just awesome. And if I don't feel like I need that much space, if I'm working on a smaller project or something like that, what I usually do is I minimize it here on the side, and then I have an IM here, either Telegram or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, sometimes all three of them grouped in a separate Chrome window. So it's an awesome workflow. So on one monitor I'll have assets, or I'm browsing the web or social media. On the little corner here, my IMs, and then over here, video editing. It's honestly, the increase in screen real estate here as an editor is life-changing. But if you're looking at a widescreen curved monitor of this size, you're probably thinking games, right? And this is where this thing shines. The refresh rate, the contrast, the color depth, everything is amazing. They built this thing as a gaming monitor, and it doesn't fall short of their promises. I find myself playing games a lot more on this just because they're so much more immersive on that 35-inch panel. And being that it's curved, it better envelops your field of view. And people have said, at least in my comments and things like that, that the best kind of games to play on this monitor is racing games, which isn't really my cup of tea. Unless you consider Mario Kart a racing game, which I suppose it technically is, but I can't really run it on a 35-inch curved monitor. It doesn't really benefit from that extra screen. Overall, I'm thoroughly impressed at what BenQ was able to squeeze into this panel here. It definitely changed my workflow. There's no way I'm going back to regular panels from here on out. This is my jam now. And I have to say, I really appreciate the opportunity BenQ gave me here. As a smaller creator, the fact that they sent me this monitor to try out and talk to you guys about what I thought of it, it blows me away. I'm really thankful. So this is the BenQ EX3501R. I got it right in one take. It's a phenomenal monitor that really blew me away. I'm gonna leave the links to the product page down below so you can check it out. And that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy and I'm done. This is BenQ's XR3501R. Let's try that again.